Jorge Flores, Itsel, we're live. You're recording right now. So I want to start off and say thank you guys for being here this evening. George is one of the coolest guys I know, so I'm very glad he came through this evening. How you feeling, brother?
Feeling great. I appreciate the invite. Thank you very much. Excited to talk is what I love to do. So let's talk.
Yes, sir. I enjoy a nice, relaxing conversation
Yes.
at the end of the day. Unfortunately, I spend most of my day talking so much that it makes me sick and tired. But now this is just relaxation.
Yes.
And how about you, Itsel? How are you?
I'm doing good as well. Had a long day of work, but like you said, time to relax and enjoy.
Yes, ma'am. But you guys are dressed to impress, though. So I'm here relaxing. You guys look so professional. Like, you look like you're ready for a networking event right now, and I love it.
Is it the pin? Is that what it is?
I mean, the pin is like the cherry on top of the sundae, if you will. But it's that James Bond-esque jacket with the top button open on your shirt. I don't know.
Chest hair,
It looks like you shaved it. Did you shave your chest hair?
Oh,
right? No.
Okay,
All my hairs on my head.
Okay. Because I was thinking whatever makes Itsel happy would be, so.
Yeah.
Did you get that shirt like pressed or dry cleaned or?
No, actually, I wanted to come in a hoodie. I wanted to come in my Team George hoodie, but I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be on video. Let me clean up a little bit. Let me do my hair. Let me, put on the blazer, put on the collar shirt.
George is conscious of his appearance in a good way, right?
only today because the rest of the week it's literally hoodie, jeans.
Casual.
That's him. I actually felt overdressed. I'm like, let me take off my stuff.
It's because of the weather. Once the weather starts getting nicer, then you start dressing to impress. Bust out the good stuff, But now, the weather. It's still hoodie season, even though should be short season. But
I don't know how to dress, quite honestly. Like, you know what I mean? I leave the house in the morning. My car is like frozen with frost, and I put on a sweater, like a turtleneck, because my neck chills easily. So I'm always either rocking a scarf or like a high turtleneck. And, you need it in the morning when you come out, right? And then by the afternoon, I'm leaving the office. I'm like, it's like 60 degrees or 70 degrees. I'm like, I don't need this anymore. It's just so crazy how you have to like dress one way in the morning and then dress one in the afternoon. And then I don't know about you guys, but when the weather changes, I get like more prone to getting sick. Like when it goes from like hot to cold again, like I get colds. Like, how does this affect you guys, this whole weather?
well, see, you don't drink enough tequila. That's the problem. If you drank enough tequila, you wouldn't get sick. Ask me when's the last time I got sick. How old was I?
When's the last time you got sick, George?
I think I was in high school. Last time.
High
I got
school.
sick. Yeah.
No kidding. Where'd you go to high school?
Morton East Mustangs. What up?
Morton East,
I won't say
represent.
what class.
Represent.
Morton East.
I mean,
I
wish
to go
I.
to Lane Tech, but my parents bought a house in Cicero, moved from the north side to Cicero, and I had no choice but to go to Morton East. Nothing wrong with Morton East, but I'd rather have gone to Lane Tech, better school. But I came out fine, don't you think?
I
From
think
Morton
so,
East?
my good man.
Yeah, you missed out though.
I did miss out. I did miss out.
I went to late tech, so the culture there and like even the size is just so different than I think any other school that's out there. So you missed international days.
International days, what's that?
Basically, it's like at late tech they have like a bunch of clubs. So it's Ecuadorian club, Middle Eastern club, Colombian club, and then they teach you their like traditional dance, and then they do like a fusion of whatever is also coming in that place.
The culture.
Yeah, and then at the end of the year, like you'd perform for the teachers and your parents and everything. But it was really fun because the whole year you practice to be in this performance.
And what club were you in?
I was in Ecuadorian club. I'm Mexican though, but I was in Ecuadorian club.
Do you have any Ecuadorian in your background at all, or?
So that's the beauty, because it was more like, you go, you join, you try out, and then you learn about this culture. So it's not like they were like, no, you're not Ecuadorian, we're not going to let you in. So that was nice.
And so is Lane Tech like is that like what do they call those really like elite schools, magnet schools or something like that?
It's a selective school. I don't know. Do they still do that? No, I don't know.
I
I'm not that old, but it's a selective school. You had to take a test, and if you placed in, then you would be able to get there. It just depended on your GPA, but it was Whitney Young, Lane Tech, Lynn Bloom, and then I think that's all I could think of. Maybe like one other school
Okay.
where you placed in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I would have went to Lane Tech, I don't think I would be doing what I do, because I got the opportunity when I was at Morton. As a junior year, I got into a part-time job through a local savings and loan bank. That's right in the corner, right off of Cermak and Austin, with the rotating clock, Central Federal. So they did give me an opportunity. It was like a type of after-school program. So if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be doing mortgages right now, which is crazy.
And so do they like go to Morton for like career day or job fair or
No,
something?
I mean there was, you know how it is. It's not what you know, it's who you know. You know, so I was blessed to, my parents knew this one lady. It's called LULAC. I think it's some kind of organization that places employment or jobs for the youth. And you know, at that time, I was looking for work. I've always, wanted to work at an early age, but you had to be at a certain age limit to actually get a job, not a paper route or whatever.
How old
Yeah.
were you?
I was 15.
15?
15 when I got the job, but not doing loans. I was just like a little gopher, as they call it. You know, I would shred paper, go downtown, deliver packages and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But eventually, when I did graduate high school, they did post a loan originator job opportunity, bilingual, which I was the only one there at that time. That was
Mhm.
bilingual, so I'm like, that was meant for me.
I was going to say, yeah. Sound
So-
alike.
Now, a couple years later, I'm here.
So
Couple years?
did you stay there for a while and kind of like learn as much as you could and work your way up, or?
I stayed there to 20, so I was there almost 5 years.
Wow.
Almost 5 years. As a loan officer, I stayed there a couple years, but you know, nothing against the big banks or the banks. They all do a phenomenal job, but they didn't have a lot of programs that I could offer clients, so I had to move on to the mortgage side.
I hear you.
So that it did give me a lot of opportunity to educate myself on the mortgages, how the banks work, and you know, it did give a lot of insight on what I do, you know, and how the bank sees it. You know, now it's a different animal being on the mortgage side from the bank side, but you know, I did learn a lot, and if it wasn't for them, you know, I am very grateful, you know, for the opportunity. You know, 17-year-old kid right out of high school, and I'm helping these adults get into a mortgage, you know, which is crazy.
And that was at your first job?
That was my first job, man.
Well, the reason I'm wondering is because you said that like the bank and mortgages are like two different animals. So what was the difference between your first job and
Well, guidelines, banks tend to be a little bit more stricter. That's back in the day. I mean, things are slightly changing now, but back in the day, they used to be very strict, very hardcore. You have to have a certain percentage of credit score. You have to make a certain income, you know, to qualify. But now those times have changed now. There's a lot more opportunity now. But back then, if you didn't have good credit or you didn't have a certain amount of down payment, you can get a loan through the bank. You would have to go to the mortgage side to get a mortgage.
so the mortgage side is a little bit easier to qualify?
Back then, yes. Well, even now, but back then it was a lot more programs, a lot more crazy programs too. That, I mean, I hate to say it, but you know, anybody breathing and walking could get a mortgage back in the day. You know, not anymore now, but back in the day, just about anybody can get a mortgage.
You were talking about when you were in high school, and this was probably like right before the crash and like, you know, 06, 07, 08 or something like that.
By then, yeah, 07, 08 was the crash. I started in the business in 97. 96, 97. I graduated high school 96, but 97 is where I got the opportunity and started really doing a lot of loans.
You aged like a fine wine, my man.
It's it's tequila.
Yeah, he said that's your secret, and
Do you believe him now?
I mean, I can't say that I have not tried alcohol as like a kind of a cure or at least a treatment for when you're sick, right? Like
Tequila though, just tequila.
Just
Well,
tequila.
they do say if you ever feel like you're coming down with something, grab a shot of tequila, put some raw honey in it and some lime, and take it as a shot, and you'll feel better. Try it. Next time you feel like you're coming down with something, grab some tequila, raw honey, and lime.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like I'm coming down with something right now.
I got you.
The only problem is we don't have tequila.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, for the listeners who are going to be listening to this, I was trying to get everything situated for the podcast, get everything ready to go with the audio, and I am not a technical guy at all, like as far as like being tech savvy. So trying to get electronic equipment working right and in good order is a pain in the ass. Something I'm not very good at. I always like to have somebody around to help who's like, oh yeah, you got to do this. You got to, oh yeah, open up this menu, go to options, blah, blah, blah. I'm
Takes
like,
2 seconds. Like, oh, it's done, fixed. Okay.
yes, that's who I need. I need some like tech mastermind around to help me out so that I don't have to stress on stuff like that. So I can make sure that we have the proper beverages on hand and all that good stuff. I was hustling like a savage just to get a shower in and go pick up the food before we started recording. So, that's about as far as I got on that. But do you know what it is about tequila that like helps? Like, or is it because I know like I've seen how it's made. They use agave and all this stuff. It has to be aged for a while. Is there something that I don't know, some hidden ingredient, or is it just the magic is in the
I
recipe?
mean, it's plant-based,
Yeah, I think that's
it's organic,
big reason.
it's just Google it. Google, the benefits of tequila, and it'll tell you what it does, and it does definitely help you out a lot.
Well, it's I've tried it before. I try some whiskey sometimes. Like if I feel a sore throat or something, or I feel like my throat is irritated or whatever, I'll try like a little alcohol to help. But I will turn to tequila. And you said put a little bit of lime and honey in there.
Raw honey.
Mm-hmm.
Raw honey.
Yeah.
Can you get raw honey anywhere at like any grocery store?
You
I
should be
think
able to.
now they do. Yeah, try like Mariano's or like
Whole Foods.
the bougie kind of stores. Because you probably won't find it at Cermec.
Cermec Produce or Pete's. Please fetch. Well, you might find it.
It's too Mexican. That's Mexicans we don't.
Cermak Produce is one of my favorite.
I love it too.
It's one of my favorite. They have everything you need. You go in there, it's like the freshest fruit you ever see, all stacked perfectly. It looks like
I
somebody
know,
was
right?
polishing it. You know what I mean? Pre-COVID or whatever, like clean it up all good. They have all the like nuts and berries and dried out fruit and all that stuff that's good to snack on. And that's just when you walk in.
Yeah.
And then you get around to the back. Apparently, they sell the arrachera with all the fat cut off already
Okay.
and ran through the machine already packaged. So you don't have to, when you buy it at a certain weight, you know that you're getting the actual weight in steak and not a bunch of fat where they weigh it with the fat on there first and then give it to you. That's the kind of steak I like. Where I'm raised, like, give me the most value for my dollar.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
No, and they're very affordable. They're very affordable for sure.
Well, you mentioned Mariano's and what's the other bougie one you said?
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods.
Yeah, Whole Foods.
Where are those located?
North side or very south Alsip area.
Okay.
Oak Park, you might.
Suburbs.
Or the city. No, the city will have some.
Yeah,
think.
in the city, like downtown city.
Well, I don't know where they're at, so I would have to like Google like Mariano's near me or Whole Foods near me because I hit the same few spots, and quite honestly, Shop and Save over there on Central and Archer is
Yeah,
like
we just checked that out.
Yeah.
my favorite place, man. Like around here, you know what I mean? I was like kind of on Aldi's for a while for just like your basics.
Your organic fruits and vegetables, right?
Yeah, they have organic stuff now. They have a lot of organic stuff.
Well, Aldi's and Trader Joe's are like brother companies. Like
Really?
I think Aldi's owns Trader Joe's.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't know
pretty
that.
sure.
And Trader Joe's is supposed to be really good too.
Well, yeah, they're basically like a Whole Foods, I think.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I love Shop and Save. It's like similar to Cermak Produce. They
Right.
got all that stuff as you come in, but their deli, I'll get like roast beef and I'll get some au jus. They give that to you for free if you want. So if you want to like make it Italian style and let it simmer in a crock pot or in a pot on the stove on low, they give that to you for free. And then you go back in the butcher department. Some of the best little Italian sausages are right there. You want your meat like cut a certain way or whatever, they'll take care of you. Their salmon's pretty good. It's close by. I also buy my candles for the office there to get rid of the bad spirits. You know what I mean? You got to keep them lit. Speaking of which, I meant to light some right now. I got a couple behind me on the thing there, and I usually light those.
Oh.
The ones on the back table are just for decoration.
Have you saged your office?
Saged?
Yeah.
She's big on sage.
I do sage a lot.
I have not, but I might need to tap into your sage resources. Is sage to get rid of the bad spirits too, or what is that
It's
for?
like a Native American tradition, and it's like, sage is a plant. Obviously, you can grow it as well. But the whole thing is, well, at least when I do it, is I put like Native American flute music, and then the whole thing is like you grab a shell, you put the sage on there, and then you have a feather to kind of like move it around the whole place, and you're supposed to do every single dark spot, every corner of the place, and you have to have one window open to let obviously the bad energy come out, right?
Right.
And then you're in a sense chanting. You don't have to chant though. You can just say something like, I release the negative energy in this office or whatever you're saging, and then yourself, and then that's it. You just do it, but you have that intention in mind that you want it all to be gone.
Where did you learn that?
I think I had a friend. Well, I had a friend, right around like, I think like 4 or 5 years ago. We don't talk as much anymore, but she was big on that because her boyfriend or her man now, he's Native American, so he came from the reservation. So she knows about all their kind of traditions, and she would tell me all the time, like, try this, or you need to do this to cleanse your body, or you need to do that. And I believe it, I mean, maybe not so much in like the sage itself or like whatever, but I believe in just you having that intention to get it out and release that energy. That helps a lot.
I believe it. I believe the same way as well
Yeah.
because I was raised Catholic. I went to Catholic school like my whole life. I went to St. Joseph's grade school. I went to St. Joseph High School, which we'll talk about in a little while. There's a reason I want to mention that. But I'm not like super religious, you know what I mean? Like I hope that there's a God and I want to, I always strive to be a good person. But I don't know if there's like a literal magic to the actual substance, but I like the positive energy that it brings. And I feel like, especially when you do that stuff in a group, like everybody leaves there feeling good. And there's got to be a lot of health benefits to that, both like mentally and, physically as well. Like, it's so funny how like the mind and the body are so intertwined. Like if your mind is like not in a good place or you haven't slept well, it's dragging you down. You're going to move slower. But likewise, if your body's messed up and you're not healthy, mentally you're not going to feel right either.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to like take care of both,
Mm-hmm.
So you said you went to a Morton. What's their mascot over there?
Mustangs.
The Mustangs. So is it the Mustangs for East and West or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's like even though there's two schools, they divide it up because of the population purposes.
Right.
You can only have so many people in one building, but it's Mustangs at both. Because I was about to say Morton Mustangs, but I wasn't sure if like East had a different mascot from
Oh,
West or whatever.
Mustangs.
That's dope,
It's the
man.
Mustangs from the East. That's it.
Mustang Pride.
Well, I used to hang out over there by East because a good friend of mine from high school, the Sokol family, they lived like right around the block, so we used to hang out over there all the time. And then some of my, one of my ex-girlfriends from when I was in high school lived over there, and like all my friends lived over there. We had so much fun in Cicero, and we escaped trouble with the law so many times in Cicero. Like I can think of two right off the top of my head. Very lucky. But you know, I guess our guardian angels were with us during those times. So how about Lane Tech? What was their mascot?
Indians.
Lane Tech Indians?
Yes, we were the Indians.
Do you know if it's still the same today or no?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same. Yeah.
Okay.
They have sometimes, like, they have a page now where they try to all meet up. What is that? High school reunions they do every so often. But yeah, that's still the Indians.
I missed mine.
You
The
missed your
reunions?
reunion?
I never go to any of those
I
either.
don't want to.
Why not?
I don't know.
It's a
I don't know.
past life. He wants to leave it behind in the past.
It wasn't bad. I mean, my high school, it was. I mean, I did sports to sophomore year.
What'd you do?
Baseball and soccer.
Okay.
I was too small for basketball and football. I was like 5'3". I was a little kid. And then I grew. So I couldn't, but, and then I decided to work. So I couldn't continue with sports. I mean, I love sports. I mean, it's older you get, you don't participate as much as I used to, basketball or playing softball or whatnot. But I would play like every weekend when I was a little younger. But yeah, I miss those days. But no, it wasn't rough. I stayed out of trouble. I was a good kid. I didn't want to upset my parents or my mom. Especially she's a worry bird, and last thing I want to do is get in trouble and have her worry and panic. Since I was the only child, so I stayed away from trouble. There was plenty of trouble at Morton East, plenty of trouble, but thank God, I stayed out of the trouble.
Say
focused
words,
on
son.
studies, and I had a good vision even at a young age that I wanted to be somebody. So I focused on that instead of focusing on what the popular thing was, being in gangs or being this or whatever, hang with a cool crowd. I stayed away from that. I focused on myself, focused on surrounding myself, like what you said earlier, good people, be a good person. Hopefully that takes you somewhere in life. Knock on wood, still, again. Everything, I've been blessed. Been blessed. Have had a good life, and a lot of opportunities, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's just crazy how times change. You're playing sports, when you're in high school, and like everything seems fine. But have you played soccer recently or basketball or anything?
Oh God, basketball maybe a few years ago. A couple of the guys got together at a YMCA and played basketball.
What, the neighborhood?
Holy cow!
The neighborhood loans guys or what?
Yeah, neighborhood loans, and we actually had a softball thing too, at the office, which was a lot of fun. I love softball. I mean, it's baseball. I actually like baseball more than basketball a little bit.
Right now?
Well,
Or you mean to
yeah,
play?
altogether, yeah, to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, the basketball I was out of breath.
I could imagine. Like,
oh God.
it's different. Like, I do cardio, right? So I've been trying to, as much as possible, every morning wake up, do at least 15, 20 minutes. Get the blood flowing, get the blood up to your brain, get your body loosened up, kind of ready to go through the day. But I feel like if I tried to play sports, like even maybe a pickup game, I think I'd get hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would tear something in my knee or pop my knee out or, just something. Because I went to Haunted Trails a few years ago, and I was sore after just playing the games. Like, you have to, throw the ball at the little, clown or knock them down or whatever.
Don't tell me, miniature golf got you sore.
No. Thank God.
Like,
I'm in my 30s, and it's not that bad, to be playing miniature golf getting sore, but shooting on the basketball games, you know what I mean? I'm like, by the time, the next day, I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, I haven't used these muscles in this way in a long time.
You gotta weight lift. That's why.
That's true.
Did you know that 30 minutes of cardio is you can accomplish more weightlifting than doing 30 minutes of cardio in terms of calories burned and fat burn?
Yeah. Well, I've been slacking. I've been slacking a little bit on my weightlifting because I in my room I have a kettlebell and I have just a single dumbbell, and I would do kind of like weighted squats with the dumbbell. I'm not trying to compete in like,
No.
heavy weightlifting competitions or something. So I do that. I would do, different things with the kettlebell,
Get a
and
trainer.
all that. Well, I'm not like super high speed in terms of getting a bunch of things done. So I usually just work out like at home in my bedroom. Like we have a pretty good sized bedroom, and like I do my cardio there, I do my weightlifting there, and for me I feel like weightlifting is probably something that's easier to do in the evening for me because like if I'm tired out, like when I get home tonight, I'm not gonna want to do cardio. And even if I did do cardio, I feel like it would pump me up and I'd be all energized, and then I wouldn't like be ready to go to sleep, which I don't want because I need sleep badly.
Yeah.
Well, they say we're supposed to get 6 to 8 hours of rest.
Yeah.
The body needs it.
Yeah. I mean, I try to get about 7 each night. I'd prefer to have 8, but there just ain't enough hours, right?
No, we
wish
talk
my
about that
body
all the
would
time.
sleep.
We're like, dude, it's 1 o'clock already. Like, we just woke up, and it's already 1. But not that we wake up late. We don't. We're early birds too, because we gotta.
My body doesn't not like to sleep anymore. It's
No?
weird. I'm up by 7:30. I'm up. I don't know why. My body hurts from just laying down, I guess. It's weird.
Oh my goodness. What time do you normally go to bed?
I mean, we try to go like 10 or 11. The latest we've ever really gone is maybe 1 a.m. But still, we're like waking up 7:30.
On a work day? Because like
Yeah.
on the weekends if you're
Even
going
on a
out or
weekend,
something.
Even on a
think-
week. Yeah, it's so weird.
Our brain is constantly
Yeah, I
moving,
think that's what
constantly
it is.
thinking.
The brain.
Thinking about work, thinking about everything. I mean, in our business, it's 24/7. It's not a Monday to Friday type of job. It's not a job. It's just it's a livelihood. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It
Yeah.
You'd be
kind of
surprised. I
is.
get text messages early in the morning or late night or sometimes in the middle of the night. I'm like, the heck?
Third
what I
shift
mean?
people.
What's that?
People that have the third shift, that's the only time they have to respond.
Yeah. Hey man, 2:30 a.m. just got off of work. Want to talk about loans? Want to talk about real estate? Be like, I'm good right now.
No, I even put on silent now because before I didn't because my parents, just in case of emergency or anything. But now, I put it on silent at night. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to, if it's an emergency, they're down the street, something, God forbid, But I don't want to hear any alerts. I don't want to hear any messages. I want to rest. The body needs rest, so I want to rest. I don't want to. I wish these didn't exist, to be honest with you. I wish throw them out. They're such a distraction.
Yeah.
They're needed,
definitely
but it's
different.
such a distraction.
Well, that is true. Like, part of like I have my own law firm here, and part of running the business well is like trying to manage the distractions because for a while I would stop and I would always respond to text immediately, or I would pick up the phone. Like that was the thing, and it's like if I do that, then every other thing that I need to do as an attorney just gets put on hold. Like I kind of have to manage my communication flow and try to make sure that the things I need to do and the communication I need to get out, I do that. Because otherwise, if I put that on the back burner, it doesn't get done or it gets kicked to the next day or whatever. So, and to your point, yeah, it is pretty much a lifestyle. And I didn't realize it until I got like balls deep in the game, if you will. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm in it now. They're like, I can't stop being Brian. It's you know what I mean? I am who I am, and like
Right.
you gotta deliver, right? It's
Yeah.
tough because like quite honestly, I thought you were gonna tell me like differently because when you guys said like 11 is about the latest you go to bed or 1, like maybe like once or
Yeah.
twice, I thought you guys were like gonna be a couple of like international finer things, right? Like I see George sometimes like on vacation, bro, in Mexico,
Oh no.
like getting away from it all for a little bit. And I feel like you do it on the sneak tip too. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know you're leaving, and all of a sudden I see pictures on Facebook. And the savage part about it is, I don't know if you're currently gone, or if you like showed those from like a week ago and you're back, and everybody thinks you're gone, but you're really handling business. You don't have to give away your secrets.
No, but it's funny because I get, are you in town? I get text messages, or are you in the city? Or, I'm like, dude, I wish I wasn't. I wish I was traveling because in our job, we can do what we do from anywhere.
Yeah. And every time we travel or he travels, he's working. So he's at least 4 or 5 hours a day. That's what he's doing. And then it's time to have fun, you know?
Yeah, if you can do
So-
that, that's kind of the way to go. Because, you know, for a while, like, I have my 2 full-time assistants, and then my wife's been helping me also with the business, and we wouldn't be able to do it without her. Without my
Awesome.
wife, we would have to hire a 4th person
Sweet.
full-time to handle the volume of business that we do.
Yeah.
But when I first started, you know, a few years ago, I never really vacationed. I would just work from a different location. So I've basically shifted my office to like Wisconsin or wherever I'm at. And it actually made it harder because then you got to be like, make sure you got Wi-Fi, you got signal.
True.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Some of our challenges, you know,
Yeah.
with the Wi-Fi.
Especially in Mexico.
That's true. You know, there you go. Now, have you guys, so just so everybody, all the listeners out there know, you guys are a couple.
Correct.
How long have you been together now?
Officially? Or
Either
unofficially?
way, whatever. I mean, it's kind of like unofficial is almost official. You know what I mean? Like my wife and I celebrate our anniversary of our first date, even though we weren't like, we didn't discuss the terms.
Oh,
Like
that's
we're
nice.
we're official now. We're exclusive. So I don't know when did you start dating?
No, we've been at least a minimum of 6 months. It seems like a while. You know what I mean? But it's been a short period of time. But it feels like it's been not a bad thing. But like we have that connection that we feel like we've known each other
For a long time.
for a while.
Which we have known each other for a while. It's just the official. We're like, okay, we're moving in. We're doing all this. Yeah, it's been not that long, but
So you live with George now?
yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
and
now
then
we're your mom's neighbor now.
That's true.
Yeah.
because I don't know if you know that, but my mom lives about 3 or 4 houses down from George.
Well, now you can come visit.
Yeah.
For sure. Like the only reason I haven't been over that way like a little bit more to like do stuff is just because of COVID.
Yeah.
That block, they have really good block parties. So in Chicago, you can get your permit, block off the block, all the neighbors come out, everybody throws like $50 in. They got a couple slides for the kids. They got the DJ out there. They're playing a little something for everybody, right? It's a good time, and it's a great way to get to know the neighbors too. Because
Yeah.
how long have you been living there at George?
3 years.
3
And
years.
I haven't participated in one. I know you invited me last year, remember? To stop by.
Well,
But-
it was
Was it last year
the year
or
before
2
last.
years?
It was the one right before COVID. Because
Okay.
this past year,
Yeah, that
I
was-
think they did one. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
No, I don't think they did.
Okay, maybe they didn't, but if they did, it was like real low key, or they like kind of downplayed it. It was like, all right, everybody keep your distance. Like we'll all be out here and we can see each other, but you stay at your house or something. I don't know.
Well,
You know what I mean? I don't know.
regulated.
But when they normally do it, like everybody will invite you down. You know, you meet the neighbors. They'll give you, you know, a little bit of food. You try a bunch of different food. Then they're all trying to get you to drink with them and shit. It's like, man, I'm already buzzed. Like before I even stepped up to your crib, like let's pump the brakes for a second. You know what I mean? And some of them are out there like late. Like I got one neighbor, he's a police officer. That guy was out there. I remember one night, it was like 4 in the morning, 3, 4 in the morning. This guy's out there playing cards still with some of the other neighbors. I'm like, God damn, y'all are savages. You know?
Oh,
When do you-
savage number 100 over here.
When do they usually have it by?
Usually it's like late July or early August.
You think they'll have one this year? Probably not. Right?
Maybe. It's hard to tell. I don't know what the city's doing with issuing permits and
They're starting to little by little.
What about gatherings like that?
Yeah, I don't know about those type of permits. Yeah.
It's needed because, like I said, I never participated in one. So I'd like to get to know my neighbors other than, hey, hi.
Well, his
Waving.
neighbors don't like him. So.
Don't
We've
like
established
him.
that.
don't
I think
like
they
him.
only
One
like him
neighbor,
now
not
because of
neighbors.
me.
But not, I don't know. They probably have, they don't know me. So it's, can't judge a book by its cover. They maybe see.
I told him he looks like a drug dealer. Sometimes the way he walks out with his Maserati and his Louis stuff, he looks like a straight up Mexican drug dealer. I mean, that's probably what they thought.
This guy's on some Breaking Bad stuff.
There you go.
I told him, I'm like, and then I come over here looking bullshit. I'm sorry, that was hilarious.
3 dogs. I don't know.
With 3 dogs, yeah, they're probably like, whoa.
George and I are going to be Los Pollos Hermanos holding down the block, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're protecting.
No, but they don't know me, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's once they get to know me and what I'm about, and I'm a family man, I'm a businessman. I have no evil bone in my body, you know what I mean? So, you know, maybe that. Who knows? I don't know.
He was never home, so they're like, this person's never home. He comes in, he's all swagged out. They're like, who is this guy? So they're just trying to figure him out. And I feel like it took that truck that you brought. It's like a big neighborhood loans truck, and then they started to say hi. I'm like, wow.
There's a neighborhood loans van that you had?
Yeah.
You got a company car or what?
No. It's the company's van. We needed it to get some stuff out of storage that I had. So, I mean, they're always, they always help out whatever if needed. Instead of renting a truck or something, just use a neighborhood loans van. So I parked it right in front of their house, and they're like, "Oh, that's what he does,"
Yeah.
They probably didn't know what I do,
Well, that's legit. I love how Neighborhood Loans has a van. So first of all, good advertising, right?
Yeah.
But also you get to use it, to like transport your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully fully insured, because I got into
sure.
a little fender bender with one of them Enterprise trucks one time.
Uh-oh.
Well, they were doing a block party, and I was moving, and see, the thing about the city of Chicago and the block parties is they only issue permits on certain days. That's why you'll see like multiple block parties in the neighborhood, because it's like you can have this weekend or whatever, blah blah blah. So there was cars on both sides of the street, and I was trying to like make way for an oncoming vehicle that was coming toward me, and I just pulled aside a little bit, and the very back end, like the little step ledge thing,
Hit you.
it got the fender of this girl's car.
Oh.
And I did the right thing. I pulled over. I ruined somebody's day at the block party because they're over there having fun. I'm like, hey, does anybody know who owns that, Hyundai at the end of the block? Yeah, the girl's down there. Turns out it was her mom's car, and they were like old school Polish, and they were furious.
Oh my God.
And they called me for daily status updates to see how the insurance claim was coming along. Luckily, it was all covered.
Did you have accident forgiveness?
Well, the funny thing was this. I went to Enterprise, and at the time I didn't have like a car in my name, so I didn't really have an insurance policy, because if you have a policy, I think you can kind of use your coverage for another vehicle you're driving for a purpose like that.
Oh yeah, if you're renting it.
If you're renting it.
Yeah, so if you're doing a rental vehicle, then yes, it does extend.
Exactly. Problem was, I didn't have insurance at the time. So I told them that, yeah, I'll take your insurance. And what I told them was, I wanted it fully insured. Like, whatever the maximum you can give me is, I want it. And the guy's like, sure, no problem. I get into the fender bender, and the police are in the area because they're patrolling, making sure shit ain't popping off at the block parties or whatever. And I notice that the insurance wasn't checked off on the invoice he gave me. And this guy's told me when we were in the parking lot, he's like, you'll be insured up to $1 million for liability. I'm like, perfect. I'm like, I don't think I'll need it, but it'll be good to have it. So the police officer didn't notice. Everything's good to go. I go back in there promptly Monday morning, and I tell him, hey, do you remember the rental I had over the weekend? He's like, yeah. And I was like, what? I'd like to talk to you about that. I said, do you remember how you told me I'd be insured up to $1 million? No, I don't remember that. Well, you might not remember it, but you said it. And the thing is, I noticed that it wasn't checked off on here, and I'm going to need it. And he goes, well, I don't think we're going to be able to do that. And I said, take a look back at my rental history, and you'll notice that on every single rental, I've done full insurance on all of them. You told me I was going to be insured for like up to $1 million. And, that's what I'm going to expect. And if not, I'd like to talk to a manager. And sure enough, he's like, all right, let me see what I can do. So he added it on after the fact. It was only like $1,900 in damage. But your boy Brian was not trying to come out of pocket to self-insure on some cash pay stuff when I thought I was getting full coverage.
Which is
liability
fine.
and coverage for the truck too.
See,
Well,
you
that
didn't
happens.
you didn't have accident forgiveness. So what did your farmer's insurance agent do for you?
George, It was Enterprise Club.
So you didn't.
Farmers, I would have probably been in better hands. Bum, 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 bum.
See, if you didn't
We
have
are
farmers,
farmers.
now you have farmers. Now you have
Yes,
Brian, meet Itsel.
By the way,
Brian.
here's my card.
it's all good.
So now you have policy perks. Now you have accident forgiveness.
And it would have extended over to your rent automatically without you even having to call.
All right, we're gonna do Sage first. Yeah, insurance second.
Yes. You gotta
Get rid of the
phase
bad
off
spirits.
Yes.
But the good thing is, though, that you did it right because now he got scared because he kind of felt like, I'm sure they have some type of errors and omissions insurance that covers their back in case they make a mistake like that. So,
What, the company, Enterprise?
yeah.
I would hope so. But the
Yeah.
guy was cool enough. He was just like, he added the charge on like post fact, and we got it all taken care of.
That's
Because
good.
I was gonna be real upset if they didn't. Because
Oh,
at the
for
time,
sure.
like I just kind of started out in the business. I didn't have that extra money just to be throwing around. You know what I mean? I was like, kind of just getting by.
When did you start in the business?
I opened my own office in May 2016. So
Oh, okay.
I had a few jobs
awesome.
before that. Kind of learned like,
One of 5 years. 5-year
Yeah.
anniversary coming up.
yeah, going on 5 years.
Awesome.
I used to rent an office down on 63rd and Oak Park, but you know, it didn't quite work out there, and I started looking around, and it was actually our good mutual friend, Gloria Uola, who connected me with this spot here. Like I was driving
Is your
by.
birthday Sunday?
I am, yeah. Her actual birthday was just yesterday,
Right.
but I'm gonna
Her
go
birthday
Sunday. You
Sunday.
guys are gonna be there?
Possibly.
I don't
Maybe.
know. I'm just learning about this now.
Just got the text. No, because when you said her name, I'm like, oh, I just remembered. That's what. Oh. So much going on, man. But thanks for the reminder.
Well, it's
What?
well, Gloria's having her birthday party Sunday at her house. I think it's like 4, so it'll be kind of like afternoon barbecue. Have you ever been to her house before? or no? Okay. Well, if you
I've
can make
only
it.
been once. Remember when I saw you with the cigars? We were doing cigars.
Yes,
Remember?
I had the cigars, and I'm trying to remember what the occasion was. I don't know if it was her daughter
It
getting
was
married
April's birthday,
or
right?
it was
Or-
Eric.
oh no, she was getting married. We were supposed to go to Guadalajara. Remember?
Yes,
Well, I didn't go, but did you go?
I went.
I missed out.
That was my first and only time in Mexico.
How'd you
Really?
like it?
It was really cool.
That's good.
I mean, it was really cool.
Guadalajara's like a party
I missed
city,
out. Well, it was her daughter getting married and Gloria's 25th anniversary.
Yeah, they renewed their vows. I think it was her 25th.
Yes. So it was all within a week, but I couldn't go.
Well, I wasn't able to stay for the renewal of the vows because originally she asked me, she said, come to my daughter's wedding. But then she told me, you know, Ruben and I are renewing our vows. And I'm like, I can only get away for like 5 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was running the place and,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
you
your
got to keep
first
an
year.
eye on the operation.
Yeah.
But when we went, it was really cool because it was Independence Day when we were there. So after
Mexican
the.
Independence?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was in September.
Yeah.
That's right.
I've never experienced that. That's actually really cool. Because they throw big parties, not for that. Yeah.
I mean, probably the
Super
whole
cool.
country was a party that night, but
Yeah.
we were in Guadalajara and we stayed at the El Presidente Hotel downtown there. And it was awesome. There was like a rooftop pool. So I've never been to Vegas before, so I felt like this was the closest I've been to Vegas on this like rooftop pool. I got diamonds on my neck, got Patron in my cup. If you want it, you can get it, baby. I don't give a what. But yeah, we're on the rooftop. We got our like genuine ass Cuban cigars and all this. We got our like, you know, waterproof speakers. We're hanging out in the pool, you know, whatever. Quite honestly, like it was kind of a family trip, right? We're going there for a wedding.
Right.
If it wasn't a family trip, I might have moved there, learned Spanish, and never came back again, and just
Oh,
disappeared into the
See?
the nightlife
You got my
abyss of
mentality.
Guadalajara.
Well, not Guadalajara, but Mexico. That's
Yeah.
why I want to just.
Well, you got to travel more. Especially different parts of Mexico. Because Guadalajara's nice, but there's so many nicer places.
Oh my God, yes.
So many. So if you liked it there, you're going to like all the other spots.
What's your number one recommendation?
I think right now my favorite, it's between Cabo and Mazatlan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where is Cabo at? Is it like northern Mexico, southern, east, west?
West. It's the little,
West.
He's the expert.
towards the end. Little
In Mazatlan?
Mazatlan is kind of in the middle.
Middle.
Kind of, sort of, kind of. Mexico's huge.
I know.
So many
it is big, man.
beautiful areas, you know, and we're still trying to.
Explore.
I've been to Cabo several times. I've been to Guadalajara. I've been to Cancun. I've been to like Mazatlan now. My parents are from Aguascalientes, which is hot waters, which is the belly button of Mexico because it's right in the middle.
The hot water's like the springs.
Hot waters. It's called Aguascalientes, which they have every year the biggest festival in Mexico. It's called La Feria de San Marcos. Which is
And
the
what is that
biggest
about? What do they do?
They're just nothing but party. It seems like a month long. I've only experienced it once because
It's a fair.
yeah, it's a big, huge. I mean, the
They have a
biggest
lot
in
of
Mexico.
vendors, right? A lot
It's
of
the biggest in
vendors.
Mexico.
They have, pig racing, all that like good
Pig
stuff.
racing?
Yeah, like they bring
Are
out the
pigs
cattle
fast?
and stuff. I don't know. They put grease on them though to make them slippery, so you like.
Why, you have to try to catch them and you can't catch them because they're
Yeah.
all greasy? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Some greasy ass pigs.
Then they got,
racing
they
each
got the
other.
bullfighting.
The
They got a lot of
bullfighting. Yeah.
outdoors, a lot of bands, playing everywhere. It's a good experience. Casinos. It's just like a lot of pop up places, which is awesome.
What's the name of the festival?
Feria de San Marcos.
Feria de San
Ask Luis. Oh, he's from there too.
Oh, no kidding.
We've
Oh,
been talking
okay.
about it. We're gonna go every year. I've only been there once.
Well, at least you've been there. So, have you guys traveled together at all or no?
All the time.
Yeah.
I
During
think that the last.
COVID.
Oh my god, how many times have you traveled? A lot.
Oh wow. Yeah. I mean, I traveled to a couple new places, but it was during COVID time, so it was kind of like I got to enjoy more of the scenery of it. But he's the one that's probably enjoyed it to its fullest. But yeah, we have Vegas,
New
New York,
Mexico a couple times.
Mexico. Yeah.
Tennessee.
Oh yeah, Tennessee. Hmm.
We're kinda-
Tennessee,
We're,
Tennessee.
we're kind of having travel withdrawals right now.
Yeah, we're trying to figure
It
out.
feels like we're traveling every month now. It's
We got a
last couple-
baby though, a new baby, dog baby,
I was going to say.
just-
dog baby, dog baby.
That's our children, too.
yes, they
Yes.
are. Oh my god,
Potty training.
our third.
Third dog.
My third. His first, technically.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, she has two. I've adopted her two.
So
Well,
George
we
is
got
learning how to be
one-
a good dad to the dogs.
No, I've been a dog person. That's what I like a lot about her because she loves dogs. And as a little kid, I loved dogs too.
What kind of dogs do you guys have?
So my oldest one is 15. No,
OG
I like
Brownie.
not 15. I'm over here giving him extra
I know,
years.
like,
He's
what?
about to be 12.
Okay.
He's a toy poodle
Okay.
and he's brown. And then the other
His
one,
name's Brownie.
Brownie. Yeah, his
OG.
name's Brownie.
We call him OG.
AKA.
AKA OG.
He's an OG in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because what is it? 12 times 7?
Yeah.
You do the math.
That's dog years. That stuff's
Yeah.
real. They start getting old like that.
He's super old, so now he doesn't give a shit about anything. He just kind of like looks at you and it's like, you think I'm gonna do that? No. So that's him. And then the other one, I just got him almost a year and a half ago. I
About a year and a
think.
half. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a lab mix. I think he's mixed with a border collie. He looks a lot like a border collie.
So that's
Black and white.
He's bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's big. He's not huge, but he's like right here. Maybe like 60 pounds or so. And then the new one's a pit bull. His
Okay.
name's Agave.
Agave.
So the second one's Onyx. This one's Agave.
Onyx, agave, brownie.
See, it's destiny because Onyx black. Black is my favorite color.
Wait,
Pit bull.
Onyx, it means black.
Just the.
Onyx is a rock. Yeah, it's a black
okay.
and white rock, and he's black with white. But I named him Onyx because of Pokemon, though.
Oh my God,
So it
I'm
makes
so
sense.
sheltered. I'm gonna learn so many new things. So onyx is a rock or like a mineral rock or
A
something.
stone, yeah.
A stone that's like black in color.
It's shiny,
Mainly
smooth
black.
black with white swirls, and Onyx is all black with like random white
White little
Patches.
paws. White little
paws,
chest.
chest. Yeah.
Okay, so onyx is a stone and it's like it's black. And then what about the Pokemon Onyx? What's that about?
He's a boulder type Pokemon. So he's like
boulder?
a gray, long, snake-looking boulder animal.
I see. Sounds kind of scary.
Well, that's why I'm like, well, I want something tough. He's a boy, he's gonna get big, and I'm like, and I liked Pokemon when I was little, and then it just so happened, it was so funny because we were all getting high, and we were like, what are we gonna name this dog? And I was like, and I don't know why, like my friends and I, we were talking about Pokemon,
Yeah.
and then he was like, oh, Onyx, one of my friends, and then I'm like, Onyx. I'm like, well, yeah, Onyx is a tough name, and I'm like, well, wait, but Onyx is the name of the stone too, which makes sense because he's black and white, and then that's just how it happened.
That seems like a pretty cool name, and I actually like the way you came up with that too.
It was so random.
Like you guys started getting real creative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then how about your pit bull? Just got your pit bull?
Yeah.
We
Pit
picked
bulls
them
are
up Saturday.
really good dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
He's
Like,
a good dog. He's
When
so cute.
when I was younger, everybody's like, I feel like pit bulls got a bad name.
It's how you raise them.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's how you raise him.
they're like if you raise them right or whatever, they're a very loving, gentle dog. They're as sweet as can be.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is you guys got 3 different types of dogs.
Oh yeah, very different.
So it's like very diverse dog family, a little fur family that you guys got.
Yeah.
Because you're like a lot of people don't get like 2 or 3 of the same ones, right? Like they'll have 2 like golden retrievers or something, whatever. You're like, I want to try each one. You got like a box of chocolates mixed there.
Assorted flavors.
It was just weird. I mean, I guess the 2 last ones were adoption, so it was kind of like whoever kind of like called her. It was so weird. So Brownie, I only got him toy poodle because my mom was like very, like, I don't want a dog that sheds. I want a dog that's low maintenance, smart, whatever. And then that's why we got Brownie because hypoallergenic, they don't really shed. And then that's why I had him. So I've had him since I was 15. And then Onyx was kind of like, I went to an adoption center and I saw so many dogs and I didn't like any of, not that I didn't like, I just didn't connect with a lot of them. And then the next day I came and then boom, he was out there out of nowhere. Like he wasn't there the day before. And then it's kind of like he picked me. And then Agave was kind of like, same thing. It was kind of like, it's not like we had a choice because of COVID. Everything you had to look online and they kind of paired you up with whoever dog that thought was, whichever dog, yeah, they thought was a good fit. So it was just destiny, I guess.
And Agave is your pit bull.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what agave is, right?
Yeah, it's what they make tequila out of.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just for the flavor or if it helps to
The actual
ferment
plant?
for the alcohol.
The plant is called agave plant, right?
Mm.
It's an agave plant.
Well, yeah, I've seen it, right? You see like it looks like a mixture between weed and cactus, kind of. Right?
Yeah, it does.
Here is
It's
it's
a
like
good way to put it, yeah.
it's like a marijuana cactus growing on the ground.
Marijuana cactus, yes.
But I think the agave itself is mostly for their flavor, right? Like, don't they have to add something else so that the alcohol or so it ferments to get the alcohol?
I gotta take you to Tequila Jalisco.
I've
The
been
little
there.
Tequila. Oh, you did the tequila tour?
I didn't do a tour. We stayed at a distillery, a tequila distillery while we were in Tequila.
Oh, that
We
little
went-
barrel kind of.
Yes.
How was that?
Well, it's La Cofradia distillery. And it was awesome, man. Like, you're staying in a tequila barrel in the middle of a bunch of agave plants, and they have like these walking paths that go through there. So it's this like little tequila barrel community, and you have your own private tequila barrel. They have awesome air conditioning in there. The bathrooms were like really nice. They have big old showers so you could like spread out, and they had, nice TV. You can get room service there. So
We gotta try that.
Yeah.
we were
I can't picture this.
Yeah, no.
I'll show you pictures before
Yeah.
you leave. I'll pull up a couple, but it's really cool because literally, and you could see them. They were building more when we were there, so you can see how they make it. It looks like paper mache, and then they kind of like put all the siding on there, and it's a legit giant barrel that you're staying in.
That's so funny.
Yeah, you have your own room, and then they have a restaurant, this big nice building on the property, so you can go there to eat while they're open. And if they're closing down, they still keep the kitchen open if you want to order room service.
Mm.
Well, I wanted to go out and explore with everybody else.
Same.
However, I think the water got to my stomach a little bit because I was unable to leave the tequila barrel that evening. But I did have,
So you didn't drink the bottled water. You drank the regular water?
I was so good the entire time, but it wasn't until the wedding when they were just putting pictures out on the table. So I was getting, there's a brand in Mexico. It's like their main brand of bottled water. I can't remember what it's called. If you say a name, I could tell you if it was like Ciel or something like that. They called it.
Maybe Chow. Maybe.
Can't think of it right now.
No, me neither. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they have like
Yeah.
one or two main brands of bottled
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
We had that everywhere we went. We were like, you know, we had it. We're all good to go. They had the wedding at I think it was called Joanka, and it was this magical like banquet hall. It was like in the middle of the mountains in Jalisco somewhere. And you know, we get out. There's like they give you a shot glass. They put it over your neck like a Hawaiian lei or something like that, and you have it. And they pour you shots of tequila when you come in. There's like 20-person mariachi. Everybody's dancing. They got like appetizers, and that's just like the place where you walk in. And then the main banquet hall's in the back, and they just had the bottle. They just had the pitchers of water. So by the next day, when we were going to tequila, I was experiencing some issues and had to stay close to home. Yes, and the worst part is I was drunk because when you go to the Cofradia, they show you how it's made. So they take you like in the back and they have like a garbage compactor where they throw all of like the used agave parts and stuff like that. And while you're in there, they're like, you can sample the Blanco while you're in there, but if you try it, they say you like part of the traditions you have to keep on taking them. So I think we did like a good 4 shots of Blanco while we were in there, and this was like Blanco burns, right? I feel like Blanco burns, Reposado is a little bit easier, and then Añejo is like kind of like what we're sipping, that more gold and stuff. It's a little something you can sip on.
Could be a little sweet, depending on the brand, but
Sorry.
They gave us 4 of the Blancos while we were in the actual distillery part of it, and then when we got out, they gave us another Blanco, a Reposado, and an Añejo at the end, and they were like these like nice drink cups. There was more than like a shot in there. It was a good like 2-3 shots probably. I was already messed up, and they're like, Brian, let's go wild, let's have tacos and tequila, and like, I want to show you all the rest of tequila. I'm like, girl. Girl. We were all piling into this van. There was like an 18-person van, and that shit is rocky as hell. It's like jagged rocks and bricks on the road. Like the suspension's as good as it can be, but it's a rocky ride to downtown. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to hang back this evening. And I'm sitting there. Every channel's in Spanish. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Put on the subtitles, right? I got the closed captioning on there. It's all good. You know what I mean? I right now I'm kind of like a sponge because I hang out with a lot of Mexican people. I work with a lot of Mexican people. I'm finally starting to like absorb it a little bit. I get what's going on.
the culture.
Well, the language, like I mean the culture. I've been down since day one. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Those are awesome.
But it's a language I'm trying to
culture
learn,
is awesome.
and I'll get there. It's a work in progress, but I'm already starting to impress people little by little. So holler at your boy in a few years, and hopefully I'll be fluent by that
You
time.
have
We'll
to
be talking
fully
Spanish.
immerse yourself in the culture. Like you gotta go in the middle of like a pueblo in Mexico and just nothing but Spanish. That's
Just
how you learn.
backpacking.
Take your wife. Take wifey.
She's trying to learn Spanish as well, so we could totally do that. Time permitting, because like when you guys travel, like how long do you go away for? Or, like not too long at a time, or what?
Could be a quick weekend. It could be a week. Depends.
Most
know?
of the time, though, it's a week. We're going a week. Because that's when you can really enjoy everything. Because, like, the beginning of the week, it's kind of like work, more work. And then at the end of the week, it's kind of like, okay, we can now relax. And
We did our chores. We get to go out now.
did it.
Yeah.
We got
Well,
it.
yeah, it's the first day. Then you got your jet lagged, and you're
Yeah,
unpacking.
that's
you feel
a-
a little tired.
I
you
get
know.
very jet lagged. I need a whole rest day before I can do anything. My bones are like, no.
Me, I'm like,
I'm like adjusting.
Well, it's true, and there's actually studies. They did a study about how long it takes to adjust to being on a vacation, and I think they said it's like 3 to 4 days before you fully like you've kind of acclimated to the environment. You feel all right. You're not jet lagged anymore, and you're able to like thoroughly enjoy it. So it does take time before you can really feel like you're on vacation and unwind.
Yeah.
Personally, like one wise person in this business, Jose Sanchez, he has his own home inspection company.
yeah.
He told me, Brian, he gave me these wise words when I first started in the business. He goes, in this business, it's hard to get away for long periods of time, but you need to take short, frequent trips because burnout is real.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So
100%.
Gloria and I actually went to a nice place in Geneva, Illinois, which is not that far away.
Yeah, Geneva's nice.
It's about an hour. Very nice. You've been there?
Yeah.
So
Lake
so.
Geneva?
No.
No,
Or just in Geneva?
Geneva,
Onyx.
Illinois.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Because when you say Lake Geneva, you mean Wisconsin,
That's
right?
Wisconsin.
That's where you've been.
Geneva's
Yeah.
Illinois.
Yeah.
Geneva, Illinois is like not too far.
It's like an hour.
And I'll tell you, like, I don't want to let out the secret sauce on the podcast, but I'll tell you a nice little place that we like to get away to that I was there recently. One of my other lender friends, Rich Kimball, turned me on to the place. And then there's another place that Gloria was telling me about in Indiana where it's on a river and you have your own private cabin and it has like a grill on the outside, like a propane grill, so you can bring your own food, cook there. On the inside, it's heated floors, and they have like a jacuzzi hot tub thing built into the ground. So it's almost like an in-ground, like little in each cabin. I'm like, we went to Geneva instead, but I want to see what that one's like. And we were
Yeah.
planning on maybe going in May because it's only like an hour and a half away. You know, you can leave early Saturday morning, get there, check in, take some deep breath, remember what fresh air smells and feels like
Yeah,
going
I
into
know,
your
right?
body.
Yeah.
Is it pet friendly?
Yeah.
It might be. I'd have to look. I'll tell you the name of the place and we can check because
pets are our kids.
if you
Yeah,
can't get
yeah.
away for those long trips or take the pets with you,
Take the
like
pooches.
that place might be a good option. Do you guys have any vacation property at all?
We're about to close a couple properties, but in Mexico,
Good for you, man.
in Tulum.
You guys are like the fearless couple because I even traveled during COVID and like when that stuff hit, it's like I don't need to be at 30,000 feet and some Trump supporter takes off his mask and he's like, I don't have to wear this shit, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, there's all this chaos. I'm like,
Oh wow.
well, I'm just making up a scenario,
Yeah.
but like I wouldn't want to have that happen. Or like if the person sitting next to you has COVID, I don't think it matters if you're wearing a mask. If you're sitting there for like a good 3-hour flight or 4-hour flight, you're probably going to get it after a while. I'm just like, I'm not trying to be in a metal tube flying through the air right now. I'll wait. I got my first shot, so maybe after the second one, I'll like travel somewhere. I won't like.
So
worry
you
about
haven't
it.
traveled?
Have you had it? Have you had a COVID?
I have not had COVID. Just got the first shot about a week ago.
Okay.
And my next one is May 10. I got to go for my second shot. But yeah, no, I mean, the only traveling I did was
Locally?
well, last year we went to Wisconsin. We went for Memorial Day, and then we usually go for the 4th of July, but all the festivities that we normally like in the towns where we go were all kind of like canceled.
Mhm.
So we're like one of the neighbors, my dad bought a property up there many years ago, and when he passed away, he left it to my mom. And it was always the family place, but it was in his name or whatever. So he left it to my mom, and then eventually one day it'll be my brother and I's. But I'm kind of the only one who goes up. So we were there for Memorial Day. One of the neighbors' kids was having a graduation party. So we went for 2 weeks at the end of last July. I closed more deals in that 2 weeks than I ever had in my career. I closed 24 deals while I was in Wisconsin. For me, that was a lot in 2
That's
weeks.
amazing.
You know why though? I believe this all the time. Sorry to cut you off.
Ooh.
I feel like because your energy's good, right? Because you're in Wisconsin, you're not as stressed out. It just tends to like, it happens every time. I feel like it happens to us all the time. We go out there and it's like we want to relax, and then it's like boom, no, you can't.
I wanted to relax, but I didn't have a choice. It's like you get thrown in the deep end and you swim your ass off to avoid sinking. I knew what I was getting into, but the thing is, this young man who was graduating high school, I watched the guy grow up because his he lived right down like the block, I guess you would call it. Homes are kind of a little more spread out. It's like bigger area, and I watched the kid grow up. So I'm like, he's a good young man. I want to kind of be there to like give him a nice gift, give him some words of wisdom. He was getting ready to go off. I think he went into the Army. It was either that or Marines, but I'm pretty sure he went to Army after that. So I wanted to see the young man. And we had a little shindig in the woods, man. His parents, so like his house is close to mine, it's close to the main highway. But they bought another house that's over by like this lake about a good 2 miles or 3 miles in off the main road. And this was like some dirty South type of stuff. You get back there, they had a tent set up. They have the main house, couple porta potties on the outside. People are playing bags. There's some weird shit going on in the back. People are popping some kind of edibles and we're drinking. And it was during the middle of COVID, so it felt so wrong, but it also felt so right. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
We enjoyed it, but it was crazy because everybody up there must have thought I was nuts. The way of life there, it's probably similar to like Mexico. It's much more slow. People don't rush. They're not in a hurry to get anywhere. But I had my wireless router with me, so I was working from the cabin. We don't have a phone line there. We don't have internet, nothing. This is like we out there.
Yeah.
So I ran out of data on the friggin' hotspot because my Outlook, my email was draining it like crazy. Like when the new emails would be coming in, it was trying to sync. It was just draining the data. Every time I would turn it on, I'm like, man, I gotta like take the battery out of this or whatever. I burned through like 50 gigs of data in the first week. I'm like, I'm not doing this because I already paid for a bunch and I had to pay more to get more added on there. So I went down to the community center, which thank God was still open. They have this bomb ass community center. So there's this big beef jerky company called Jack Link's Beef Jerky. They're all over. Like you go on a 7-Eleven, you'll find it here. And they, I guess to try to get some money out of the family estate or something, built this like $20 million community center. It's got like a college basketball court, giant swimming pool. It's like the Wisconsin Dells, like bomb little, area in the front where they have a fireplace. And that's where I was hanging out. And these people, like the local people who live there, are listening to me on the phone the whole time. Like, what the fuck is going on with this guy?
Who is this guy?
Yes. One day I walk in there. I got my laptop. I brought a printer in there because they were charging like 25 cents a copy. And I needed to print out stuff because like for the buyers stuff, I can just do that like with a PDF on the computer. But for sellers, I'll need to like print stuff and sign it. And there's too much to be messing around with like DocuSign or whatever. Like I'll just print it out. So I'm bringing in my own printer. I got my coffee, I got breakfast. I took up their whole like table. They're like, nobody's in the conference room today if you'd like to have that. They were all really cool, but there must be like, what is this guy doing? By 5 o'clock, once the operations were over, I'd fire up the charcoal grill in front of the crib, and then we'd go out and we'd drive around and look to see how many deer we could spot, because that's kind of what you do in the country.
Yeah.
And it's cool, man. There's like a million nice little restaurants up there and everything.
That's awesome.
And maybe one day I could have you guys up there. It's a little bit of a drive, though.
It's fun.
We've done what? How long?
Tennessee?
Tennessee was 4 hours.
No.
More than that, I think.
6 hours.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we drove there in a
9, 8, 9 RV.
in an RV. It was a small RV, so we were like bouncing around everywhere. And then
But it was fun.
we're going through these little tiny roads. You could barely even take the RV through. It was scary. We almost died.
Was this a Neighborhood Loans RV?
No, it was a rental, but yeah, it could have been like we had come out of, like in the movies where you don't have gas, you don't have signal, you don't know where you're going,
We
you're
keep going in
lost. That was
circles.
us.
Yeah.
Literally in the
couldn't get out.
it was like super dark outside. No, it was bad.
And then Jason Voorhees comes out of nowhere.
That was scary.
George is like trying to pretend like, I know where we're going. We're
Oh
good."
yeah, literally, he was like, "No, we're fine. We're fine. We're over here."
Gotta
Like,
keep you cool.
Yes. Because
Once you start panicking,
I'm guessing it's always relying on you to be calm and confident. And if you show signs of not being calm and confident, that's going to make her not calm and confident. And that could be a
Yeah.
problem.
you weren't driving though, it was Sergio,
No.
right? Yeah.
but then I
How many
think I
people
took
went?
over.
He took over actually. Yeah.
How many of us?
5 with Lenny. Wait, 1,
That's 2, 6.
6. Oh yeah,
And the pooches.
and the dogs. Yeah.
Where'd
The 2 dogs.
Where did you guys get the RV? Or where do you rent that?
This place in Merle's off of North Avenue. I forgot the name. But they have different sizes of RVs.
That's awesome. And it's so cool that we're having this podcast that we're talking because my mom, it's kind of like she has a real bad back and she's kind of fragile in her older age, and I don't think she'd be able to make it in a regular car. So we were talking about renting an RV. Do you remember like roughly how much it costs you? Or
Depends on where you're going. It depends how many days you need. Depends on the size. It's not bad. It's good. I'll give you the information.
Okay.
I have it, but I just can't think of it right now.
That would be perfect because like I think my mom would need like maybe like a bed in there to kind of lay down on or something.
I don't know if that would be a good idea though for her. If she says she's fragile, like the whole.
It
I
was
mean,
bumpy,
if you
though.
get one of those really big ones
Yeah,
that
you gotta
are
get the-
stable, then yes. But like if you're trying to go cheaper and have like a smaller one, you
It's
could barely
bumpy.
even walk there. Everything was falling
bumpy.
over. It's super bumpy.
Well, even on like a smooth highway.
Well, on a smooth highway, but if you're planning on going to road trip, a lot of the highways are not that smooth. And, you know, a lot of the times it's not so much that, but it's just all the turns that you have. Because then you're just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
the whole
there's a lot of weight in that, and as you make the
Yeah.
turns, it kind of pulls you, and it feels like the thing's kind of shifting. And
Yeah.
if you go too fast, you might tip it or something like that.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's how it felt like. The whole time I'm like, I feel like we're going to
We're gonna
fall
die.
over. Yeah.
Well,
But I do
definitely-
recommend it.
Well, let's chat after this
Yeah.
because that might be the only way my mom will be able to make the trip because,
Yeah.
you know, and another thing is you got to kind of stop frequently, keep your blood flowing 'cause it's not good to sit there like that long or whatever. So it sounds like you guys traveled a lot already in this 6 months, like one trip a month or what?
It
For a
goes
while
like
we
that,
were
yeah.
like, especially during like the whole when everybody was quarantined and everything, it was kind of hard to like keep your sanity sometimes. So it was kind of like, let's go try to keep our sanity somewhere else, you know?
And it's one thing we have in
Something
common.
different.
You know, we love to travel, so we like to explore. We do have some bucket list we're trying to do this year. You know, we'll see what happens. But she wants to go to Greece,
Greece.
Hawaii, would be
Santorino,
nice too.
Hawaii.
Those are long trips, those ones. I mean, I think with Greece, you probably do a layover flight somewhere in Europe, and then they take you the rest of the way or something. I mean, maybe there's some direct flights to Greece, but even Hawaii, like, do you know like how far away that is from America? The entire width of the United States is about 2,500 miles. It is 2,500 miles, roughly, approximately, from California to Hawaii. That's a long flight. So you're traveling the entire distance of the United States away from the United States
Yeah.
to get there. And somehow, that's still a state.
Yeah, right.
Like, America's like, ooh, that looks like heaven. We're going to take that.
Yeah.
We're gonna make that a state.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
so funny.
We're just googling it this morning or yesterday.
They consider it a state for real?
Yeah, it's the 51st state, I think.
Wow.
50th or 51st. I can't remember if Alaska or Hawaii. I think Hawaii was the last one. But
That's crazy.
Really, I think the main reason, or one of the main reasons, motivating reasons, was for defensive purposes, because that was like if there was like attacks coming in from like Asia or Japan, like they would have that as like this is our first line of defense before they even get like within a couple of thousand miles of the coast of America. And so I don't know, we just made that partnership, and you know, we had all that stuff back in World War II where they, you know, bombed Pearl Harbor at Hawaii and all that, and all that crazy stuff. But well, good for you guys. You got some places to look forward to. And then I don't know, I guess I'll just ask, but you don't have to answer. Have either of you guys got COVID at all during this whole crazy thing?
I have.
Yeah.
I didn't get like tested, but I for sure know I had it because I lost my sense of smell and just felt really like it was around May when everybody was quarantining. And yeah, I just felt really, really down and really depressed. And yeah, I think that's what it was because it was for 2 weeks and then all of a sudden I was fine. But the biggest thing was my nose. Like I felt like I couldn't, like I was not congested, nothing, but I could not smell anything. And
Do you feel like you're fully back to normal now?
now I am, but it took a good couple months for me to feel normal again. So for sure.
That's what I've heard. Like my one friend got it, and she got it in like April, I want to say. I still don't even know if she fully has her smell back yet.
Well, I've always had allergies, so I can't really tell if it was like, you know, because of the COVID or not, but you can smell certain. You can smell, yeah, I think so. I feel like as you get older, though, you lose it.
How about taste? Was your taste all right?
My taste was fine. Well, obviously, if you lose your sense of smell, I feel like your taste gets affected
Yeah, they're
anyway.
kind of connected.
But now, like, I can taste stuff. But for sure, I guess maybe it has to do with the COVID. But I tell him all the time, I'm like, man, food is just not interesting to me no more. Like, I'll eat it, but it's not like
Even now?
amazing like it used to be. Even now, yeah. So
Oh,
I don't know if
man.
it has to do with that or just the fact that, like, you know, we're older. But That could be.
I feel like we need to talk to our scientists. Make food great again, right?
All right,
Like after COVID, like, yo, this used to be one of life's best pleasures, and now, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear you didn't get it too bad then,
No,
because
it wasn't
some
bad.
people got it like real bad,
Yeah.
like all sorts of stuff, blood clots, hair falling out,
Yeah.
hair falling out. Oh my God, that's serious. Whatever that shit's doing to you, like chemotherapy makes your hair fall. COVID does that shit too.
Isn't that
Oh my
crazy?
God.
Does it? I didn't know that.
I've heard 2 different females tell me right now when they had it that they were like in the shower and they're like washing their hair, and then all of a sudden like clumps of it would come out. And I'm like,
Oh wow.
That's
girl, I feel so bad for you.
That's true.
What about you, George? No?
No, I mean I don't think I have. All I know is the first time when quarantine came out, I dipped to Mexico
Yeah.
for months, and the first week I was in this place called Ajijic in Jalisco. So I was up in the mountains or whatever. I thought it was the altitude, so I was having difficulty breathing. But
That's a beautiful place, by the way.
yeah. Oh, you been? Or you
Just
heard?
for a day. Well, it was our last day there, and we were only there about maybe half a day, but
Oh,
it's beautiful
gorgeous,
there.
Yes. So I thought, I mean, I had everything else. So I had taste. I ate. I didn't feel sick. It's just I couldn't breathe. I had trouble breathing, but I still think it was the altitude. Maybe it was a change in altitude. I
Pretty
wasn't used
sure.
to it.
If you don't have any other symptoms.
So remember, tequila. It keeps
He says he's
everything
immune.
away. Yeah,
Do you need
I've
a
been
little more?
blessed. I haven't got sick. I don't think I've gotten COVID. So
Do you need a little more of that golden elixir right there for now, or no?
a little.
Just a little bit before we
Yeah, sure.
finish off the broadcast.
It's so
A
funny.
shot a day keeps COVID away. That's how I look at it.
I'm fortunate. I have not had it. My wife did not get it.
Good.
We were supposed to get married in March last year, and she was working at this plasma clinic, and a couple of people got it there, and the one guy died from it. He was also a Cook County corrections officer, and he did security there, kind of like on his days off or part time. And he was a middle-aged guy. He was like in his 40s or whatever, and he got it, and then another young lady got it, and my wife was telling me, she's like, they're not taking the proper procedures. But at the time she was off because we were supposed to get married. We were going to go to the courthouse. We were going to keep it low key.
Mhm.
And then they shut down the courts, and she was still off of work. So I'm like, well, why don't you take an extended leave of absence? Because if people there are getting COVID, like, I don't feel like they're properly screening the people that are coming in there. I didn't want her to get it. I didn't want her to bring it home. I didn't want, then we're all spreading it around, whatever. So she left there, eventually she's like, I can't keep on asking for more time off. I'll just have to quit. So she did. And she's been like working part-time now and also helping us, which was a blessing in disguise because she does a lot of like our data entry. She opens our files for us, and she does, the addendums that we have to send to lenders, and she's going to be closing files too. I got to work with her a little bit more on that, but it really worked out well. And then we didn't get married because the courts were shut down for so long, but we still had the license. So we just got married here outside in the backyard back in October.
That's awesome.
It was perfect. It was like, we couldn't have asked for a better wedding. It was the last like warm day in October. We had some tents delivered in. We had a DJ. We had a pork on rotisserie out there. They were cooking that. We just had everything set up real good, and so it worked out really well. What are you guys doing, like, health-wise, or like stay in shape during all this? Like, what's your exercise routines like?
Tequila. No, just
Lifting the glass.
Well, now it's walking the dogs. I mean, we were going to the gym every morning.
It's hard to stay motivated
kinda
sometimes.
Stop for a little bit. We want to go back, but we're early birds now,
Yeah.
so we do take the dogs for a walk, for a long walk. So that's our little mini cardio. We were talking about getting rollerblades. So I know she's a rollerblader. I used to be a rollerblader. We'll see what happens, Maybe I'll face plant a couple times, but try to stay active. I know the weather, it's kind of hard to be active, but hopefully now once the weather starts breaking, be out and about more, be a lot more active, especially with the pooches and
I dance. I dance. I'm a dancer. I do bachata. So that's what's kept me kind of during the quarantine, like they stopped doing a lot of stuff. Everything was through Zoom. So we were kind of like dancing through Zoom. But now they've opened up again. So I've done that. And we do like a 8 hour, almost 10 hour intense training on Sundays. And then the rest of the week, you just kind of practice on your own.
Do you teach?
I don't. I'm actually in a competition team, so I have my directors that teach me, but they teach. They do privates or classes.
So you're back to doing in person now?
Yes.
Where's that at?
Right now they have it at Latin Street. We still have to wear your masks, so the whole time we're practicing, we're still wearing our masks, temperature checks, all of that stuff. But yeah, they just.
Where's Latin Street?
It's on Roosevelt, by Roosevelt and Canal. I don't know exactly the address, but it's in the South Loop.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, they're close by.
I think I might have seen like, I don't know, video or at least maybe some pictures online. You doing that? You do it like competitively or something, or?
I'm in training, so when I started, I had only been there for maybe a year. I think maybe a year, and then COVID happened, so I wasn't ready after a year. You know, it had been such a long time since I stopped doing dancing, and then, you know, when COVID happened, it was kind of hard to stay motivated, and you know, now this year I hope to compete, hopefully. Just depends on my effort too. But it kind of all happened all at the same time, opening the business, doing the dance, and then, you know, the first few years is hard. So it's kind of hard to do multiple things at once.
We get pulled in a million different directions.
Yep.
That's for sure.
And then I decided to open right before COVID happened, so.
Hey, if
crazy.
you can make it,
Nobody knew it was coming.
Right.
You can make it at any time.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
That's true.
That's for sure. But also, when COVID first hit, I was a little concerned. I was like, oh man, I'm like, people are gonna be really afraid, and that's gonna hurt the market. And it was just like this initial blast,
Mhm.
and then when everybody like put their heads up, they're like, all right, let's everybody buy real estate right now. Interest
Yeah.
rates were low.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord they were low at this time, because I feel like that totally helped us like get through this.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because we probably have all had very good years, like the past year and a half. I mean, last year was probably my best year, and then this year is pretty good so far. But there was a lot of people out there hurting, so like, blessed life. I feel like, you know, I'm blessed in that sense too.
I agree.
But yeah, no, I mean, who knew that was coming, right?
Yeah.
You're getting ready to do all these things. We all thought 2020 was gonna be the year of the G, and then that happened.
Yeah.
Who knows how it's all gonna play out?
It's okay. I feel like stronger. I'm like, it's like the people that went through the market crash. It's like the second wave of it, but with COVID. So I'm like, now it's a story you could tell later on and be like, we did this, you know, in these times. So
For sure, like our grandkids are gonna hear about this for a long time to come.
How was COVID like? I don't know.
Times are different. Kids got the cell phones and stuff now. By the time we're telling these stories, we're gonna be flying around in magic spaceship cars and stuff.
That's
like
true. Yeah.
Tesla, Dogecoin, and
No phones anymore. Just
Bitcoin.
virtual. It'll just be like some glasses or something or contacts that you can wear now.
I think they're talking about putting it like inside you, like chipping you. They're calling.
Right.
Well, you like, you know that dude Elon Musk who like owns Tesla Motors or whatever.
He came out with his own tequila too.
Really?
He's trying to get into everything.
Tesla
this guy.
tequila.
It's
And
called
it sold out
Tesla.
like this. Yeah.
God.
One of my buddies sent it to me, and I looked it up. Sold out. I'm like, oh. I would have bought it just to, you know.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
Maybe he's
Michael
got some-
Jordan has one. It's not the best.
Snoop Dogg has wine.
Snoop
He
Dogg
does?
is white?
I think so. My friend Cindy, shout out to Cindy Mesa.
What up,
Yeah, what up,
I
Cindy?
know
Windy
Cindy.
City. She gave me a bottle the other day, and it had Snoop Dogg's like picture on there. So I'm like, I don't think they would let it, like he would use his image on there unless it was his stuff. So I gotta look it up. But yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. Maybe we'll have our own after a while. Who knows?
I have my own tequila. Oh, that'd be nice.
You gotta get your hands into everything, man. Like,
The JF tequila.
we're gonna have to come up with a really cool name for it.
Yeah.
We'll come up with it.
We'll leave that for the next one. Is there anything that either you guys want to tell the listeners about yourselves or your business or your family, anything.
Ladies first.
What a
Such
gentleman.
a gentleman.
God
You know
bless
me.
you, George.
You know me. Born and
All
raised by
like-
women, so.
True. That is true. I was born and raised by a woman too. I have no father figure. But anyway, the only thing I can give or advice I can give is don't get discouraged if you're young, right? Or if you don't know where you're going, because at the end of the day, like how you say, you're blessed and you just try to be a good person. If you continue to do that, the universe has a funny way of just putting things into place for you. So just keep persevering.
Keep persevering, be positive, and the universe will reward you and reflect that back to you.
Be a good person. Yeah, for sure.
And just to piggyback off of that, good things happen to good people.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. You can't, the advice I would give is don't let anybody shoot down your dream, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Believe in it. Obviously, give effort, whatever it is that you want to do. If it's something that you have a goal, work hard for it. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So protect your dream. Always fight for it. Whatever it is, good things happen to good people. Don't let karma take care of the bad people. Be yourself. Don't try to adapt to what social media says you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because I personally, even though social media has helped me a lot in business, but I tend to sometimes believe social media is the devil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it portrays how women should be and how women should look, how guys should be, or whatever. You know what I mean? Be yourself. Don't be like everybody else. Be yourself. Be unique. Be what makes you. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, if people would appreciate that. If they don't appreciate that, then maybe they weren't meant to be in your life or whatever. Just be yourself. Be you. And that's what makes you unique. So always take that into consideration. Don't follow. Be a leader. And definitely would take your place. That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys.
Sorry.
No, if there's
just
something
to
you want to
continue
add, I
with
mean,
that.
you guys were flowing really well. There's some little magic going on.
Just to say, and just to kind of go into what he's saying as well, where he says, if it's your dream, pursue it. If it's not your dream, if it's something that you're figuring out, right? Just give it your all. Because I feel like this new generation or like that's coming up, a lot of times people are doing just enough to kind of get by because maybe they don't know or maybe it's not a dream. But whatever you're doing, give it your all. Well, even if it's something that you don't like, and then along the process you will find what you do like. But as long as you keep trying to always grow yourself as a person, even if it's not something that you completely like.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
There's everything you do is a stepping stone if that's not the final destination.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big believer that the universe is kind of a mirror that reflects back to you. If you're gonna go around grumpy or angry or with a chip on your shoulder, the universe is gonna reflect that back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things I've done in my life, yoga and learning how to breathe properly, that have helped me to relieve stress. Because I used to be the guy who would be honking the horn or yelling at somebody because something my dad did, fuck you, blah, 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 yelling at them,
Yeah.
getting ready to get out of the car or whatever they had to. But that's not me anymore. And to your point, I agree that social media, like spending too much time on there, is the equivalent of devil worship in my humble opinion.
Yeah, no.
It's such a distraction. It's like, I mean, it's great, like there's beautiful people on there doing beautiful things and accomplishing good stuff, but you can go down that rabbit hole and just get stuck on it for so long, and then you're like, Jesus, where did the day go? Or there's so many things that when you really come down to handling your business, spending too much time on there is not the thing to do. Like lately, I'll make some posts, but I kind of like post and ghost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll post and ghost. I just want to put a thought out there,
Yeah.
and then I don't really spend a lot of time going back and revisiting it. And I use it to say happy birthday to people.
That
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always wanted to kind of start my day off saying happy birthday to people because it's like a really positive thing to do. But lately, I'm taking care of me first.
It's true,
Get my
it's important.
exercise in.
A lot of people fetch likes.
It's
you know,
bad though. What is it? The thing where it says the first 30 minutes that you spend when you wake up, like if you're this, it's really bad because of the blue light and all that stuff. So they say like do other things and then go into it. Even if it's just something like happy birthday, that still affects you, I feel.
Well, I agree. And another thing is like, once you engage with that, it's hard to break away. It's a very powerful thing because like, even if it's just the messages and stuff, in the morning during those precious hours and minutes, if you make the most of them and use them for you and you get your routine in, you take care of yourself. But if you stop and you start answering the text messages, I'll lose like a half hour, 45 minutes. And then it's like, all right, well, I guess I got to go. Either you have to rush my shower or brushing my teeth or just go without it and do it later. And that's what that does to you. But what you said were some good words of advice. I felt it was, pretty profound. And be yourself and be unique and find what makes you you and chase it so that you're fulfilled. Because if you're not fulfilling yourself, filling that cup up, like you don't have much to give anybody else. So, I mean, this is the first time I'm doing this. You guys are really awesome. It's so cool that you came here and you bared with me too, because I was running a little late with all the technical difficulties. But
we're down the street, so we're good.
And you're welcome anytime if I'm doing something here or, just having you guys back to catch up on another time. Thank you guys so much for being here. I don't know if you still have something in your cup or if you need to add a little bit. Okay. Well, cheers.
But yeah, no, I mean, eventually one day an assistant will be managing my social media, will be managing my emails, all calls will be forwarded. I need peace of mind. That doesn't give me peace of mind.
That's true. Naval Ravikant, he's like this tech investor angel, and he said to really have peace, you kind of need to disconnect from that and be able to turn it off. And quite honestly, George, I thought you already had that. Like, you guys have a good team over there, Neighborhood Loans.
No, I do, but to manage that.
To do it like all your personal social media stuff.
I mean, I had somebody manage my emails and whatnot. I mean, I'm looking. I'm still transitioning, I am hiring more team members, but that's the goal. That's the long-term goal. I don't want a short-term goal. I want a long-term goal where I don't have to be constantly looking at my phone or waiting for it to ring or vibrate and respond. No, I don't want that. Like you said, I want peace of mind. I don't want a distraction, and that's a distraction.
Nice long walks with Itsel and the fur family.
Which we have, and I mean, a couple times we didn't take our phones, but when we didn't take our phones out, we wanted to take a picture of certain things because we're doing landscaping to the house. We're trying to get ideas, fencing, and let's take a picture of this. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, we didn't bring our phone. You know what I mean?
Start bringing those old school cameras now.
The Polaroid.
Yeah, just like we want to get ideas. This is what we want. We tell the contractor.
Those are still out there.
Go back to old school days.
Yes, man. The Polaroids are dope. First of all, it's like a throwback to like late '80s, early '90s when it came. Those old heavy ass cameras. Can you imagine when they were like the, top tier technology? Holy shit! You had to shake the thing to make the ink turn out right on the picture or whatever. But yes, because that's the only thing it does is take pictures. I guess for now, unless you guys snap up a Polaroid on Amazon or whatever, you got the right click save on your mental camera. But I look forward to seeing what you guys do with the house, and I look forward to having you back again sometime, and enjoy it. And I guess all I gotta say is we're blessed, and we hope you stay blessed too. Yes, thanks again for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for tuning in, and you're welcome. And tune in again next time. Thanks again, guys.
Peace out.
Thank you.
Peace.